What's the harm in trying to help the environment?
What has your generation done to make a difference?
We need to act yesterday.
The world is getting warmer.
What evidence convinces you? We've never been more informed about it.
Well, I think it's a huge problem.
I don't really think that we have the time to wait any longer.
Michelle, nice meeting you.
Michelle, nice meeting you too.
So what are your thoughts about, the idea of climate change?
Nobody really could answer this question, in my opinion. The arrogance of coming out and said the science is settled. Well, I've always been taught that when somebody says that, that's a major red flag.
The world is getting warmer. It is. And
I am not convinced that that's a bad thing. I am not convinced that this effect of climate change is not part of the bigger picture of the natural progression of how this planet is supposed to be.
It's kind of like an onion. It's a very complicated issue. And what I see happening is that it's becoming very simplified, too simplified in my view.
It feels like the forces that are really driving climate change are beyond the control of the average person. I do what I can in the little bits that I know I can do. I sometimes feel like it's just a drop in the ocean.
I talk to a lot of climate change deniers, and that's great, and that's great. You can have your own opinion and you seem to address it with an open mind, but to completely flat out say it doesn't exist, things like that, I think that's wrong. I think human activity is definitely causing some of these problems.
In Iowa, we have flooding, which is so abnormal, and people have to buy crop insurance in Iowa now because they're losing crops because of so much rain.
I'm still not home after Sandy. My house was, I'm gonna try not to get upset. Our house was devastated by Sandy, and we're fighting now to try to get it back. That to me is climate change, yeah. That's the result of climate change.
We have people like, for example, the Pacific Islanders. They're already seeing sea level rise. It's already happening.
It's real and has happened, and people did it, and it's kind of our job to undo it.
People want to know what they can do. If you were going to sit down and talk with people of my generation, what would you say? What would you tell me what I can do more? I mean, from what I'm doing right now, what else?
Being a consumer, we have like a lot of the power. Before I even shop anywhere, I kind of try to research a little bit about the company just to see if, what they do kind of match sustainability.
It takes, an individual initiative, not only to take action, but, to educate yourself about these things. And, something as simple, for example, as recycling. Let's do renewable energy. Let's change our ways.
I don't think that we should be blaming generation to generation. I think we should be working together.
I think just being able to talk to someone like you and to make that connection, I think that would actually have a greater impact on people my age.
We still want the same thing, and that is that we want an Earth that everybody can live in comfort, without too much trauma to our civilization, because we want our civilization to keep growing.
How would you get, like, my kids to vote, or your generation to vote? Because voting is the only way I see of changing the national approach to climate change.
Maybe get people to realize that, it's your job. You are part of the country, and you, by not voting, are part of the problem.
Go vote.
Exactly.
All right,
and that
that's
leads
the
back
way
to
you
the education point you
educate
made too.
and vote.
We like to say, oh, you millennials are so entitled, but you know what? It's just a way of saying, don't look at us, look over there.
How can we change that mindset?
Maybe through coming out and being a greater voting bloc, you almost kind of have to push us out of power in order to go and affect change.
I'd say coming here and having this conversation for other people to see, that is part of doing more.
You got people like me wrong. We admire you. We just feel you're misguided. You're using your energies in the wrong direction.
Well, that's why we need people like you to not sit on the sidelines.
I'll leave you my phone number. You can call me up and make me a proposition of some sort.
All right. Well, if you're going to say that, then I've got this pledge card here for the group that I work with. Essentially, where you're trying to have America run on 50% clean energy by the year 2030. Yeah, I got a pen for you too.
Excellent. Because you've convinced me to get off my butt and actually get involved in it.
It's time to put politics aside and just talk as normal people. So
We agree on that.
I really enjoyed meeting you, and hopefully we'll keep this thing going.
This has been a really good conversation. Kind of like makes me hopeful.
Let's bring some change.